with the very latest on the manhunt. Hello again, Mike.
Hello there, Jonathan. As you mentioned, the manhunt is now underway for whoever fired at Border Patrol agents while they were on the job in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood. Now, the scene immediately after the shots were fired reflected the tension that we're seeing all over Chicago. Law enforcement was on high alert. The protesters, as always, were agitated and making noise. DHS says a black Jeep drove up on Border Patrol agents while they were making arrests. Shots were fired from the Jeep before it sped away. No one was hit by the gunfire. DHS says people on the scene threw paint cans and bricks at Border Patrol vehicles.
Their rhetoric makes it sound to the public, those that want to act out against law enforcement, that this type of behavior is not only allowed, but will also go unpunished.
Chicago Alderman Michael Rodriguez was one of those quick to jump on the air and equate the federal agents to Nazis.
We were protesting peacefully when, for no reason, the Gestapo let go of a flash band, basically a flash grenade.
DHS says a shooting reflects a growing trend of obstruction and violence against federal officers over the past couple of months. Also yesterday, a Chicago police officer was struck by a vehicle during the mayhem and injured. And the man who has become the face of Operation Midway Blitz, Border Patrol Chief Greg Bavino, says he personally arrested an individual for assault during the mayhem yesterday. Jonathan?
Mike Tobin in Chicago. Thank you, Mike. Always good to see you. For more now on this latest attack on Border Patrol agents, let's bring in former acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey. Jonathan, good to have you with us. Another disturbing scene, again, this time in Chicago. It seems to be never ending, these attacks.
It's never ending, it's escalating, and it's so outrageous when you see the rhetoric from some of these political officials, again, equating law enforcement, federal law enforcement agents to Nazis. And these are people that are doing the job they're required to do by laws passed by Congress. It is so shameful, and it's also very scary because we may be here another time a week from now, a couple days from now, where something even worse happens. And the fact that these politicians cannot act responsibly and settle people down is just really unconscionable.
Jonathan, the protesters themselves obviously are ultimately responsible for their actions. Those who commit violence against federal officers and police officers are responsible for their actions. But your point is that politicians create the atmosphere here. So what would you want to hear from Democrat politicians to bring down the temperature?
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're not directly, but they're indirectly responsible. But you have people like J.B. Pritzker, who wants to be the president of the United States and who gets on TV acting like a low-rent political activist, rabble-rouser, rather than being the governor of a state. And he should be telling these protesters they have a right to protest, but they don't have a right to commit violence. And by the way, these officers are doing what is lawful and legal and authorized by the Constitution and Congress. So if they have an issue with it, they should go to their representatives to change it. But the fact of the matter is ICE and President Trump are doing what they're required to do, and there's no way they should relinquish their responsibility because of these protesters. But you will not hear that from Pritzker, Brandon Johnson, or anyone else because their political future is too invested in opposing Donald Trump and supporting open borders. And it's really unfortunate that some people are going to be severely hurt or killed because of it.
Do you think a Democrat on the national stage like Pritzker, who has a national microphone despite being the governor there, or perhaps California Governor Gavin Newsom should lead here and say and make some definitive statement, this has to stop? Would that be something that you would admire from a Democrat?
It would be very impressive for them to do so, to stand up there and say, hey, we may have different policy views, but this isn't the way to do it, and we have a process. But they won't do it, and it's very disturbing. And anytime a Democrat even breaks ranks from this open borders policy supporting ICE, you have somebody like Senator Fetterman. When he does it, he gets ostracized by the Democratic Party, and it does seem to be there is no wiggle room within that party. They are full on open borders, full full-on anti-ICE, full-on anti-Donald Trump, and it doesn't seem like anything will change it. And unfortunately, they put their own citizens last. They put illegal aliens ahead of U.S. citizens at every step of the way. But unfortunately, something bad is going to happen, and it may still continue after that.
So in the absence of that leadership, Jonathan, should the courts be taking much stronger action against those who are arrested and convicted of acts of violence against federal agents and police officers?
Yes, people that are arrested and convicted for assaulting federal officers for trying to kill them should get maximum penalties. If you're shooting at an agent, you should never get out of prison. And that's the message that needs to be sent. Not only will you get caught, which this person undoubtedly will get caught, but they will be prosecuted and they will go to prison. And that will deter a lot of this behavior.
Jonathan Fahey, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here today.
You bet.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.